Hey there, Taurus. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining me today on my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. You are watching a general love reading for the sign of Taurus for the month of December. So if you are a returning viewer, first of all, welcome back and thanks for coming back to watch more of my videos. If you are returning, you know that I typically upload at least 2 videos, sometimes 3, for each sign every month, but I have an uncertain recording schedule. And I don't know when I can record, so I'm doing it when I have the opportunity. Of course, right now it is nighttime, and I typically record in the daytime. I'm not fond of recording at night, but, you know, it's the way it is right now. So I do want to remind all of you, of course, that this is a general love reading, and that means it can apply to any kind of situation, circumstance, any kind of relationship that you're dealing with. Don't forget, it's important for you to be flexible with the energy. You can be represented by any of the characters that may show up in the cards, or regardless of the gender. You might feel like I'm reading for you, but you could potentially feel like you're cross-watching. Parts of the reading may resonate, other parts may not. So take what does and leave behind the rest. I hope you enjoy the reading, Taurus, but more than anything else, I hope you get something positive out of the reading, something beneficial that helps you out in some way, shape, or form. Okay, Taurus, so we're going to go ahead and get started, and we'll see what's in the cards for Taurus for December 2020, last month of 2020. I don't think anybody's shedding any tears over the last month of 2020. Here we go. The world. Nobody in the world is shedding any tears over the last month of 2020. I think we all feel the same. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. And I apologize for the weird lighting. I apologize if the cards glare or casting weird shadows. I have to invest in some fancy lighting equipment, apparently. Strength in reverse. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Two of Swords. Ace of Cups in reverse. Six of Pentacles in reverse. And the 5 of Wands. So I think that there's a decision to be made here, or possibly I feel like you're at a standstill, or you're feeling stuck over something. Maybe even a little scared or feeling hesitant about making a decision, making a move. It might pertain to a specific relationship, or this might be something personal for you. Let's get some more cards out here and see what else we get. I'm not getting a lot of details out of this first set yet, so let's see what else we get. Justice in reverse. 10 of Swords in reverse. Queen of Wands. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Page of Swords in reverse. Three of Cups in reverse. Death in reverse. And Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay, so here's what I have so far. We have a Queen of Wands on the table. So this could be your energy, Taurus, or somebody that you're dealing with. This Queen of Wands is typically somebody who's very ambitious and very creative. Somebody who goes after what she wants. She can be very fiery, very active, maybe be, she might have a a large social circle. She's the type of person who walks into the room and commands attention because she could be very attractive. She could have a lot going on, maybe a lot to say. People are interested in what she's doing and that type of thing. She's just got a very fiery spirit about her. And I feel like she's the one who's stuck right now. I feel like she's at kind of a standstill. I think she's run into a roadblock. I think she might be a little fearful about making a move, or she is feeling a little concerned or hesitant about making a decision. And it could be because she doesn't have all the information she thinks she needs, or she might be waiting on communication from somebody or somebody else or other people. There might be more involved here than just one other person. Something doesn't seem balanced for her. It could be that she's feeling like things are unfair. It could be feeling that she could be feeling like people are keeping something from her or withholding information. Maybe there are some people who are talking to others but not to her. Maybe she feels like she's being left out of the equation, or information's being withheld. That's what I get more than anything else. So there's this hesitation to make a move, maybe make a decision. But it's because I think she doesn't think she has all the information that she needs. She might even be feeling like she's being treated unfairly in some way by either one other person or possibly more than one. I don't know why I can't shuffle this deck. Possibly more than one other person with this Three of Cups in reverse. It could be a disagreement. Maybe an argument amongst friends. Let's get some more cards out here and see what else we get. I think it's the disagreement, though, that's possibly causing some confusion, either for this Queen of Wands or all involved. Like, people aren't seeing eye to eye, or they're not understanding each other's perspectives, something of that nature. So we have the Queen of Wands again. This time she's in reverse. And Temperance in reverse. Five of Pentacles in reverse. Two of Pentacles. Sorry, I know these cards glare also. I should be paying attention, but just they're light colored, so you can't see them very well. Fool in reverse. The Tower in reverse. Eight of Cups in reverse. And then we have the King of Wands in reverse. Okay, so we have a second person, obviously, in the reading. It's this King of Wands. This is the person this Queen of Wands is dealing with, but I feel like there's others involved. But I think there's definitely a disagreement here, or some fighting going on. And I think this person is probably instrumental in the lack of clarity. I think there's a lack of clarity or misunderstanding, or there might be, again, people who aren't seeing eye to eye. People might be purposely misguiding others, or there might be miscommunication. I think that this Queen of Wands is probably trying to be agreeable in this situation. In other words, I think that I think she feels like she's being treated unfairly, or people aren't being upfront and forthright with her, and that has her feeling a little on guard, or feeling nervous about making a decision. There's a decision that needs to be made. But I don't think she thinks she has all the facts. And I think the reason she doesn't think she has all the facts is because there's fighting or a disagreement, and someone might be withholding information or not being upfront about something. I think that this Queen of Wands maybe in the past, or it might be that there's been times when this person has been a little bit more demanding, for example, of how she wants things to go, or maybe she has been a little bit more pushy or disagreeable. I feel like there has been the sense that maybe there's a history where this has been a repeated response or a mode of operating for this Queen of Wands. It feels like in the past maybe she's tried a certain tactic with regard to getting her way or having things go her way, but I feel like it's been it's probably been in her nature to be a little bit more demanding. I think she's trying something different, but because she's kind of switched, she's kind of flipped the script a little bit here, this Queen of Wands. I feel like she's trying to take a different tactic because she realizes that maybe what she's been trying in the past hasn't worked with regard to whatever's going on with this King of Wands. So she's trying a different tactic, or she's coming at it from a different perspective. But she's at a standstill. She's at a stopping point because she may have adopted a more passive nature. The queens are passive nature, right? So maybe she's adopted a bit of a more passive nature. She's not in the reverse in this situation. She's hesitant to make a decision because I don't think that she's getting the answer she needs, or she feels like she's being held back. So I feel like she's trying a different approach, but it's not working. Neither approach worked for her, has worked for her. Well, the pushy approach, the kind of tell me, give me the information, tell me what's going on, being a little bit more abrasive or aggressive in nature, didn't work for her. So I feel like she's trying something new, but she's coming to, a different type of stumbling block with this approach. And that is that she isn't able to obtain what she needs, or because she's not as aggressive, she's having to wait maybe, or things are not necessarily on her timeline. Things maybe aren't going as fast as she would like them to go. But I also feel like there's reluctance from others to cooperate maybe, or to communicate, or maybe they're not giving her clear answers, something to that effect. Let's get some more cards out here for Taurus. Interesting reading so far, Taurus. So here's the Knight of Pentacles. This time he's in the upright position. So there it is. I think that she, in the past, in the reverse, she's been a little more pushy, a little bit more insistent, kind of this is how things need to go. And things did move along maybe at a pace that she was happier with, or at least she felt like she was making progress. But then, things didn't work out ultimately. She may have gotten her way on the short term, but I feel like that in the long term, that strategy or that approach wasn't working for her. Moon in reverse. I think she's finally seeing this. This could have been something that she hadn't realized about her nature. So again, this Queen of Wands, Taurus, I feel like I'm reading for this person. So this could be your energy or the person you're dealing with. But I feel like this Queen of Wands is kind of seeing that her strategies, her approach, her persona, her tactics were not working in the past. And she is trying something new. But I think that she's only realized this over time. I think she's made this mistake at least one other time in the past, maybe multiple times in the past. Seven of Wands in reverse. Five of Cups in reverse. Seven of Cups in reverse. There's the King of Wands again in reverse again. King of Pentacles. And then the Three of Swords. Okay, so this is interesting. I think that in the past, this Queen of Wands has relied on this King of Wands to remain loyal to her. In other words, I think that she's gotten her way being a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more demanding. She's gotten away with it because this King of Wands, I think, has always been pretty loyal to her. Maybe he's disagreed with her in the past. Maybe he hasn't seen eye to eye, but I think he's been loyal to her. I think this King of Pentacles is this King of Wands also. But there's something about this now. This Queen of Wands has kind of switched her approach. She's kind of flipped the script, like I said before. She's trying something different. She's like, okay, whatever I was doing in the past, that wasn't working. I need to try something different. So she's trying a different approach. But because she's trying this different approach, I think this King of Wands is not acting accordingly. In other words, maybe she's not being as aggressive or pushy. So he's like, you know, you're not telling me to do things like you did before, so I'm just not going to do anything. I know there's a decision that needs to be made. I know there's some problems. There's people fighting. There's disagreements. This king knows that there needs to be something done, but nobody's telling him to do anything, so he's like, well, I'm not doing anything. It's not my place. You know, why would I put myself out there and make a decision? There's something about this King of Wands where he's reluctant. He's reluctant, possibly to act on behalf of this Queen of Wands. Again, I feel like he's been loyal to her in the past, or he has always kind of had this air of loyalty. Like he, you know, I don't know what kind of relationship this is between this King of Wands and Queen of Wands, but there is some kind of connection where he feels like he's faithful to her. So if it's, you know, a partnership or a romantic, intimate connection, then he's a faithful spouse. He's someone who's very reliable, grounded, faithful, dependable. He's always been that way to her. But I feel because she's not being this pushy, she's kind of left that in the past. I don't want to be pushy anymore. I don't want to make these kind of demands. I don't want to have to tell you what to do. I'm going to try this. I'm going to approach this differently. But he's just like, well, then I'm not going to do anything either. Maybe he got used to being told what to do. She might feel like he knows something more than she does, or he's got the information, or he's got the answers, but he's not. He knows what to do, but he's reluctant to do it because in the past she's always told him what to do. In other words, he's not going to step off the cliff. He's not going to make that kind of definitive decision when he knows that there's nothing but pointy rocks at the bottom of the cliff. He's waiting for someone to give him the heads up. Now's the time, or give him the green light. I think in the past he's just gotten used to waiting for someone to tell him when, and he's done it. But this Queen of Wands is not. She's not doing that anymore. Okay, I know I've shuffled this plenty. Let's go ahead and cut these and see this last round and see what else we get for Taurus. Temperance in reverse. Again, 9 of Swords in reverse. I don't have my microphone. I hope the volume is okay. I just realized I didn't have my microphone. Okay, whatever. 5 of Wands in reverse. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Page of Wands. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. 8 of Swords. And then the 6 of Swords. Okay, so feels like a very specific story, Taurus. I'm just going to tell you what the story is that I'm seeing in the cards, and if it applies to you, it applies to you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. This might be one of those cases where some of this resonates for you and other parts do not. But I'm going to go through this and tell you what I'm seeing here. So this Queen of Wands is at a point where it feels like she needs to make a decision, or she needs to make a move. She needs to do something, act on something, or take some kind of action. But I think in the past, the way she's done that is she is telling somebody else to do it for her, or kind of she's making some demands. She's, calling the shots. And I think that this King of Wands, maybe reluctantly, he's kind of been going along with her plan of action. But for whatever reason, for some reason, things have been moving along okay for this Queen of Wands, but maybe not the way that she wants it to move along. Maybe she wants to kind of sit back. Maybe she wants to be a little less involved, or maybe she wants to feel like she's making there's more people who are invested enough to start making some decisions alongside her, or instead of her always calling the shots. I feel like she wants a little bit of a role reversal. She wants to, maybe this King of Wands, if he is as loyal and as dedicated as he seems to be, and this could be family related too. This could be a family tie, and it could be related to a business or work situation or a money situation. We've got lots of pentacles out here. So I feel like this queen might be even testing this King of Wands. If you're as loyal as you say that you are, if you're on my side the way that you say that you are, then I shouldn't have to boss you around and tell you what to do. You should be able to do it without me. You should be able to make these decisions without me telling you each step of the way, here's how this has to happen. But I don't think she's necessarily saying those words, Taurus. So if you're this Queen of Wands, I don't know that you're necessarily saying that out loud to this King of Wands. You might be expecting him to understand that. You know what I mean? If you're so loyal to me, if you're so dedicated, if you're as invested in what we're doing together as much as I am, then you would be able to make these kind of decisions. We're supposed to be on the same page. We have the same goals. We have the same ambitions. We're working toward the same thing. So if you're as loyal to the situation and as loyal to me as you say that you are, then I should be able to trust you to go ahead and move ahead, make this happen without me telling you what to do. But this King of Wands, I feel like this King of Wands to a certain extent is also testing this Queen of Wands. I feel like they're testing each other, or they're testing the strength of the relationship. On the one hand, this Queen of Wands, I think, feels like this King of Pentacles, King of Wands, has been very loyal to her. And she feels if he's that loyal and if he's going to stick by her side, he'll do the things that she expects him to do without her having to say a word. This King of Wands, on the other hand, is all, well, you've always told me what to do, so I'm not going to do anything if you're not going to tell me what to do. But I'm still loyal to you. Like, he's not saying, well, I'm just running off. I'm not going to be your right-hand man anymore. This is who I've always been. But to a certain extent, I think that this King of Wands has maybe felt trapped in this position. Maybe he doesn't want to be in this position. Maybe he feels like, to a certain extent, there's these expectations, and he's going to go along with it. But if you're not going to tell me to do these things, I'm not going to voluntarily do them. It's almost like they're each kind of testing the relationship. Who's going to break first? Neither party is being upfront about. It feels almost like a mind game to a certain extent, because I feel like they're playing other relationships on each other. In other words, there could be other connections, maybe other family members, friends, whatever the case may be, where there could be maybe a sharing of information, for example, with a mutual friend. They're not telling each other directly. And then there might be this kind of unspoken back and forth. Well, let's see if this information gets back to you, even though I didn't tell you directly, because I told this mutual friend of ours. that kind of thing. I hope that makes sense. It just feels like there is a resistance to be upfront with one another. But it's because there's something going on here with the testing of the relationship, which I find very interesting. So things feel like they're very much in limbo. There is definitely some kind of, with this Two of Swords out here, there's definitely some kind of decision that needs to be made, or some kind of conversation that needs to be had, or I just feel like there's not any progress being made. That something's stagnant, something's not moving forward. And eventually there's going to be this breaking point, but there's almost this test of will. Who's going to break first? Who's going to speak first? Who's going to get pissed off first? Who's going to get frustrated enough first to speak up or make a move or make a decision, whatever the case may be. So things feel very much in limbo, and based on the cards that are out here, Taurus, I don't see any resolution. I don't see any side having any I don't know what the word is. No one side is winning and one is losing. Like the Queen of Wands is not gaining any she doesn't have a leg up on this king, and vice versa. It doesn't feel like anybody's got somebody on their side versus someone kind of standing out alone by themselves. It doesn't feel like anything like that. We're going to take this card. The Youth. Interesting. So the Youth, these major arcana cards in this particular deck have past, present, future, the regular meaning, and then the potential blockage if it's in reverse. This came out in the upright. I'm actually going to read the future. I don't often do that, but because I was talking about how it doesn't look like there's any resolution or outcome in this reading, it might be interesting to see what the future says for this particular card. And honestly, I'm not sure if I've ever even read the future section for this card in a reading on YouTube. So we're going to do something different today, Taurus. Why not? And let's see what it says. Maybe it will predict an outcome for you or give you some advice in some way. This is about 3/4 of a page, not too long. And I'll display the card for you. Hopefully it will not glare. Okay, here we go, Taurus. The youth that comes to you in a future position has more of a passive message and meaning. Here he speaks of the influence of emotional energy, unconscious thoughts and beliefs, and how they work to manifest the future. The youth, because he chooses to live in the moment, gives less thought to consequences and future outcomes, and because he lives life free from the burden of fear and doubt, his choices often give rise to a future that is both productive and creative. How many times have you talked yourself out of doing what you know will make you happy for fear of what might go wrong? How many times have you shied away from a spontaneous moment or impulse that could have manifested in joy and laughter because you were afraid of the way others would react? A live-in-the-moment approach to life can often result in a happier future, especially if the choices and actions of the present are motivated by pure intentions, positive thoughts, and love. For all his seeming lack of awareness, the youth moves through his life with a lighter step because he does not worry about tomorrow. This does not mean that he lacks depth or is ignorant. He is passionate and willing to commit to a cause that interests him, and he does so without fear in the same way. He refuses to expend energy or attention on that which holds no interest for him, or what might or might not eventuate. I read that totally wrong. In the same way, he refuses to expend energy or attention on that which holds no interest for him, on what might or might not eventuate. I don't think I've ever seen that word, eventuate. I think I know what it means. What will happen or what might not happen. It could be said that this is the true essence of freedom. Okay, so the whole time I'm reading this card, I'm like, okay, I get this. I totally get this right now. So I think this is advice from Spirit, if I'm being honest. And I think if you are this Queen of Wands, the fact that you're in the upright down here, and I think you're in your head a little bit. I think you're trying to figure out, am I doing the right thing? Am I making the right move? Should I start bossing this King of Wands around again because he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing? I'm trying this different approach. I'm trying to be maybe a little more passive about the situation. Maybe this King of Wands will start making some decisions for himself, or will invest enough energy into this so I feel he's really emotionally dedicated and loyal to me. If this is how he is, then he will make his own moves without me bossing him around. The problem, Queen of Wands, if you are this Queen of Wands, I think this is the right approach. The problem is you're probably going to remain stagnant for a little while. There probably is not much going on for you, and this probably is driving you a little nuts, probably making you feel a little crazy in the head. I think we had the Nine of Swords out here. I feel like you're stressing out about this. There's not much getting done. There's not much progress being made, and that's because you've taken a step back. You're like, let's see what this King of Wands can do. He's not taking any action because no one's telling him what to do, and he's scared. He thinks, you know what, this isn't the right move. I can't make any moves until I get a green light. Until someone says go. Until someone says now's the time. He's not going to do it because he's not comfortable with this. He's not used to this. So I think what this card is saying is, you might have to, tread water for a little while if you're this Queen of Wands. Because this King of Wands showed up twice in reverse, and he's just not ready to take action. He's not going to do anything. He might be looking at this as a whole different thing for him. There might need to be some communication had between the two of you. I think there's definitely some, if it's not heated discussions, there may be arguments going on. If there's no arguments, it could be that there's almost like this silent war going on where, again, like you might be communicating through other people, through mutual friends, family members. But I don't think you're being direct with one another, and I think that's purposeful. And again, I feel like there's some kind of test going on, and I think both parties are doing it. It feels very uncomfortable. I think that if you had clarity, you could get things up and running again, but I think that the focus probably right now, based on this card, is to take it step by step. Don't rush things. Live in the moment. If you're sitting in the room with a bunch of friends and the King of Wands is across the room and you're both glaring at each other, avoiding each other, not communicating, maybe in the moment you think to yourself, okay, how could I make this situation better? Maybe you get up, you go make yourself some tea, and you bring out some tea for this King of Wands. Just a kind gesture, right? In the moment, what will that do? Well, it's going to make the King of Wands, at the very least, feel appreciative, right? Because you brought him some tea. It may not solve the problem, and he may not jump up and say, okay, now I'm the King of Wands in the upright. I'm going to go take action. I'm going to get this taken care of. It may not spur him to do that, but it might be just that little action, that little nudge in the right direction, and eventually with time, things will improve. But take things day by day, and vice versa with this King of Wands. If you're this King of Wands, King of Pentacles, I guess you have some decisions to make. If this Queen of Wands is making an effort to change her ways or to take a back seat for a while, and that is something you've been hoping for or waiting for, maybe you now have this opportunity to take the reins, make some decisions. Or if this is something you want to leave behind, by all means. Maybe this is a relationship. For some of you, this could be a connection you're just ready to drop and leave behind. I don't want to deal with this crap anymore. I'm tired of feeling like I'm in the dark. I'm tired of feeling like I don't have any clarity. Like, this Queen of Wands is avoiding communicating with me. This just isn't worth it for me. I'm done. That could be the case as well. Again, I don't see a definitive outcome, but I think what this card is saying is if there is going to be some progress made in the situation, it has to happen in the moment, day by day. Don't try to plan ahead. I don't think you can in this kind of situation. And then don't dwell on the past either. Try to figure out what you want to do in the moment. Anyway, Taurus, I'm going to go ahead and leave that here. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it resonated. Thank you so much for watching. If it did resonate, please like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment if you want. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye, Taurus.